Hey everybody, it's your boy Proftrof. We're back again with another video. This is Dumb Ways to Die USA edition. Let's go. Let's see how you can die in the US.
Americans aren't the most cautious people.
Like the normal
Just ask
people.
Florida man when he calls you for bail money.
Damn,
but
bro.
some risks and bad decisions don't work out too well. Some end with
Listen, you can't listen. You can't do my Americans like that. No, everybody's from Florida. Florida's a different breed,
going down
okay?
in history
It's a different
in the
breed, brother.
obituaries.
Can't
Here
do
are
that.
some of the dumbest ways Americans have managed to get themselves killed.
Oh, God.
Robert Dreyer maybe shouldn't have been driving anymore.
Dreyer.
The Florida man had just turned 89 in 2017, but was reluctant to surrender his license. Sure enough, while out
Bro, that's like 500 years for normal people, not Florida people.
for a drive, he
Damn,
crashed
bro.
into a fire hydrant. A routine accident.
very
Except
dry,
that the
huh?
crash also managed to break the water line connected to the hydrant. This created a massive burst of water pressure, and when Dreyer stepped out of the vehicle to check the damage, the old man was pulled into a massive sinkhole and disappeared into the ground. Witnesses
Wait.
tried to help, but were unable to get past.
Wait, what? Okay, pressure go up. How did he go? What?
The surging water, and Dreyer drowned in a freak deadly fender bender.
Bro,
He
that
wasn't
sounds
the
like a
only
very
Florida
bad
man
way
to
to
meet an
go.
unexpected end. Salvatore DC
didn't
was
die
trying
dry,
to service
huh?
a helicopter in Hernando County, Florida in
Stop.
2019. The stubborn aircraft needed to be jump-started, and DC needed a boost to reach the parts. He decided to use a power cart to reach it, a ground support device used by those loading airplanes and getting them ready for deplaning. His strategy worked, and he was able to get the helicopter working, only for the rotors to move up and down unexpectedly just as he reached them, knocking DC's head clean off and bringing a sudden end to the 60.
Oh, wait, bro. You drive the thing. You don't know that the thing go brr, 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 brr. What the fuck, bro? I've never touched a helicopter in my life. Never been on a helicopter in my life. I know that the things go brr, brr, brr. I've seen that in video games. People die. I've seen that in movies. Come on, bro.
51-year-old airport worker's career and life. This next plane-related death was
awesome.
even more unusual.
Fly
It was
career,
a packed
huh?
football game between the Jets and the Patriots at New York Shea
Sorry.
Stadium in 1979, and the
Okay.
halftime show had an unexpected surprise for fans. The Electronic Eagles, a radio-controlled plane group, was putting on a show of pilotless model planes
Oh, God.
that could engage in dogfights. But this
Pilotless.
day, the plane seemed to be getting unusually close to fans. People started getting nervous when one of the planes crashed into the field, but the show went on until one man controlling a model plane shaped like a lawnmower lost control. The model plane spiraled, crashed into the crowd, and seriously injured the unfortunate John Bowen, who died 4 days later. While it was ruled an accident, it cast a permanent shadow
The fuck you, bro? He made the airplane a chainsaw wielding monster. What you mean, an accident? That was murder.
over the Electronic Eagles. But sometimes a car will do
Electronic
just as well as a
Eagles.
plane. John Hutcherson and Francis Brougham were two friends who loved to get drunk.
Okay.
After a night of partying, Brougham was 2 sheets to the wind, so Hutcherson drove them home. The only problem was he was drunk too. During the fatal 2004 ride, Brougham stuck his head out the window and promptly hit a telephone wire, decapitating him. But Hutcherson was too drunk to notice and continued driving home for 12 miles before
My
falling
guy.
asleep and leaving Brougham's body in the car.
My
It was found
God.
the next morning by a neighbor, and Hutcherson claimed to never notice. Brougham's family seemed to believe him, asking a judge for mercy for the drunk driver. This next unfortunate victim was killed by lava.
Not really his fault. Listen, he was drunk driving, and that's not even his fault that the dude committed self-die.
In
Hey,
a sense.
shit
Who
happens.
doesn't love a lava lamp?
Oh, no, I
Those
think I've seen
retro
this.
home decorations with those
think I've heard
hypnotic
about
blobs
this.
bouncing up and down still
People
have their
drank
fans,
this, right?
And they're much safer than actual lava, if they're handled properly. They're supposed to be heated by a bulb in the base, but Philip Quinn of Kent, Washington had an idea for how to speed it up in 2004.
Oh, no, he
He
didn't.
decided to put the lamp on the stove and heat it. It worked. A little too well. The lava lamp overheated, the glass exploded, and Mr. Quinn took a shard of glass directly to the heart and died soon afterwards. Not exactly the eruption of Pompeii. Sports injuries aren't the most common cause of
Dumb
death,
fuck.
but this one was especially painful. Dick
Can we talk about something? Even if that did not die, even if he did not die from that, what would happen? The thing would melt on your thing, on your oven, and then it will be like a pain in the ass to clean up. Why are you doing that? What is the?
Wertheim was
Bro.
a tennis lineman who would become famous in 1983 when his name became unfortunately prophetic. He was working as an officiant when Swedish tennis phenom Stefan Edberg sent a serve in the wrong direction and hit Wertheim directly in the groin. Wartime recoiled in pain, fell backwards out of his chair, and hit his head on the hard ground. He was taken to the hospital unconscious and died 5 years later. Wartime wasn't a healthy man, and there were extended legal battles over what killed him, but the International Tennis Foundation made one big change. No more linesmen sitting down during matches. This next Daredevil failed a spot check in the most
Y'all destroyed his ballsack.
shocking way. Ivan Lester McGuire was
Oh
a
my
veteran
God.
skydiver, and he had gone to his next mission, working with other parachutists in North Carolina. For part of a mass dive in 1988, McGuire decided he would
Mass
film the other
dive.
divers as they descended to Earth.
Sorry.
Once the others had gone, he made sure his camera was set for recording, got into position, and jumped out of the plane. He had just forgotten one little detail: to put on his parachute. Instead of capturing the other divers as they approached the ground, he managed to capture the fast-approaching ground as he free fell toward a fatal impact. A shocking end for a man who made over 800 jumps. One of the most common ways to die? Getting on the
Cock.
wrong side of the wrong
True.
animal.
Hey, listen, don't fuck with the cock. He gonna kill you.
Jose Luis Ochoa wasn't exactly a friend to the animals. He liked to attend illegal cockfights in California.
Me
and
too,
he'd been
buddy.
cited before for
No
training
chickens,
roosters to
though.
fight. But in 2011, he had a way to make the cockfights even more exciting, strapping blades to the limbs of the birds to make it easier for them to kill each other. Well, karma got the bird-brained crook. While trying to wrangle one
Wait.
of those birds, it managed to stab him in the calf and he began to bleed profusely. He waited 2 hours to get medical treatment, likely trying to come up with another explanation for his injury, and died soon after
You
arriving.
died to a
This
chicken.
death was also caused by cruel
You died to a chicken. You died to a chicken. How you gonna explain that shit to God or Satan, whoever? I mean, I was fighting chickens, fighting blade, me die.
cruelty to animals, but these animals were a lot smaller. Edward Archbold was determined to live up to his Florida Man title.
Oh,
And
God.
what better way than to win a cockroach eating contest? The challenge, hosted by a lizard store in 2012, offered a grand prize of an expensive python, a deadly animal in its own right. But Archbold was done in by much smaller animals. After eating a large number of roaches
they're
and
alive?
worms, he started choking
No.
and vomiting.
No.
Unable to clear his airway, he collapsed and
Oh.
died outside the store. While his cause of death was never conclusively determined, most believe that the hard, dry shells and the legs of the cockroaches could have easily
Bro,
gotten
stop.
stuck in his
Oh.
throat. But you don't always have to kill animals to get killed by them.
Fuck
Erica
me.
Marshall might have been a Florida woman, but she was a friend to the animals. She was an experienced veterinarian who specialized in treating horses and was working with a
Course
hyperbaric
girl.
oxygen chamber commonly used for wound care. But several things were overlooked. The horse apparently hadn't been sedated before being led into the chamber, and its metal shoes hadn't been taped over. That, combined with the high oxygen pressure, was a deadly
Bruh.
combination. The horse started kicking, causing sparks, which led to a fire, followed by a massive explosion that could be heard 30 miles away and killed both Marshall and the horse. But one man managed to get killed not by an animal, but by a plant. It was 1982 when
plant.
David Grundman was out for some target practice. The Arizona man was using his
That's
shotgun
wild
to
shit.
shoot some signs, and he then turned his attention to another target, the massive saguaro cacti growing in the desert. These cacti
Okay.
aren't the ones you get in a pot at the garden shop. They can be over 20 feet high and live to be over 100 years old. That didn't stop Grundman from shooting at one, and before he knew what happened, the massive spiny limb from the plant landed on him and crushed him. This death became so famous, it was immortalized in a song by the Austin Lounge Lizards. The next fatal stunt
Bro.
proved that more isn't always a good thing. It was 1997, and a group of teenagers from Napa
Hey,
High
I was
School
1 year
were
old
enjoying
then.
a senior trip to a local water park. A group came up with the idea to just see how many people could fit in one water slide at a time, and the answer was apparently fewer than they hoped. No one knows exactly
Oh,
how many
shit.
teenagers crammed
Oh.
themselves into that slide, but a portion of the slide opened up due to the weight, dropping the passengers
Oh.
40 feet. The accident
32
injured
injured.
32 people, including 18-year-old Quimby Galati, who died of her injuries. This next man
Oh.
might have valued his cell phone a little too much. Roger Miro had lost his phone. The 56-year-old Chicago man had a suspicion that it might have been thrown out, so he decided to dig through the apartment building's garbage disposal. Unfortunately, he didn't check exactly how the trash was handled in the building. The man
What?
went missing, and no one knew what had
What?
happened until his wife reported the
No.
absence later that day.
No.
An investigation found him
No.
crushed to death by the industrial-strength trash compactors in the garbage. While his death was ruled a tragic accident, many residents called for better warning signs around the trash chute in the future.
Yeah.
But not even the most famous are immune to the most
Jesus,
ridiculous
he
deaths.
became what
Governor Morris was a
he
founding
searched
father and
for.
one of the Constitutional Convention's most
trash.
ardent opponents
Sorry.
of slavery, as well as a senator from New York. But in 1816, his wisdom in matters of politics didn't extend to wisdom in self-medicating. He had been plagued by a painful blockage in his urinary tract and decided to clear it out himself with a piece of whale bone he used as a catheter.
What the fuck?
Naturally, this only made things worse, and Morris soon died from internal
Stabbed
injuries
your
and infection,
dick!
which must have led to an interesting day at the medical examiners.
Oh my
This
god.
next case took defending his client a little too far. Clement Vallandigham had a controversial life,
1817.
being an Ohio congressman who was arrested and expelled from Congress for his opposition to the Civil War. He brought that same reckless spirit to his later career as an attorney.
Well, I think I've heard
in
of this.
1871, he was defending Thomas McGeehan, who
Yeah,
was
I've heard
accused
of
of
this.
murder in a barroom brawl. Vallandigham's argument was that the victim had likely shot himself while trying to pull out his pistol, and decided to demonstrate that this could result in an accidental shooting. It worked, a little too well, as Vallandigham fatally shot himself in front of the entire
Yeah, I've heard
courtroom
of this.
while he died the next
Yep, they freed the guy.
day. His mission was accomplished. McGeehan was acquitted of murder.
That's awesome,
This next
though.
man could escape anything except a ridiculous death. Harry Houdini was the king of escapes, pulling off daring
Houdini.
feats of survival like escaping from water tanks while in straitjackets or being buried alive. But his undoing was a lesser-known stunt of his. Houdini would frequently dare onlookers on stage to punch him in the stomach, protecting himself with a special suit. But one day, a man named Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead approached Houdini in his dressing room to test his ability. He punched Houdini several times in the stomach, causing internal damage. Houdini died several days later of a ruptured appendix, which may or may not
Wait, Houdini died by being... The dude that did all that crazy shit died to being punched in the stomach.
have been caused by the punches, but many suspect Houdini would have been aware he had appendicitis if he hadn't already been in pain. Another woman traveled
he
the
had
world until she came
appendicitis.
to a sudden and shocking stop. Isadora Duncan dazzled
Wow.
the world as a dancer and traveled around much of Europe far from her San Franciscan home in the early 1900s. She
Okay.
performed up to age 50 when she boarded a luxury French car while wearing a long silk scarf. The scarf was a hand-designed
no.
gift by a Russian artist.
You gotta
While
get
her
caught on
friends urged
something?
her to wear a coat instead, Duncan wanted to show off the wrap. While she was riding, the flowing scarf became entangled in the wheels and axle and yanked her back harshly. Her neck was broken and she died instantly. One of the few people to die in a car accident that didn't involve a crash.
Wow.
In 1984, an American matinee
Rambo.
idol met a disturbing end. John Eric Hexum was a fast-rising action star who had just won the lead role on the new CBS drama Cover Up, playing a
Cover
CIA
Up.
handler. He may have taken his role as a Daredevil hero a little too far. While filming a scene with a real handgun, Hexum was frustrated by a delay in filming. He decided to play Russian roulette with the unloaded gun, which had one blank round in
What?
it. But the blank used paper wadding and was shot out from the
Paper
gun with
wadding.
such force when Hexum pulled the trigger that it shattered part of his skull, causing a fatal brain hemorrhage, ending his promising career and dooming the series as it barely begun. But some ordinary people died in such dramatic ways that they became celebrities. Michael Godwin was awaiting execution for murder when he got a lucky break. His attorney was able to get his sentence reduced to life in prison, but the convict was getting a little stir-crazy and decided to do a little do-it-yourself repair. He wanted to watch some television, but his earphones were broken. While trying to repair them, he bit into a wire while sitting on the toilet and wound up electrocuting himself as the metal toilet and water hit him with a fatal shock. Looks like he wound up getting the electric chair after all. Let's hope this next case won't start a trend. Gender reveal parties are the hottest new trend.
Oh, we've seen this. We've seen a video. We saw a child in this video. Okay.
And some people
what
are
y'all
going well
motherfuckers gonna
beyond a
do?
cake with pink or blue center.
Yeah.
Pamela Cremeyer was attending a celebration in
Cremeyer.
2019 when her family members unveiled the centerpiece, an umbrella filled with gunpowder that would create a shower of sparks in the color of the gender reveal. But the rookie gender reveal engineers miscalculated and the umbrella went off
Wait.
like a pipe bomb instead, hitting the 56-year-old Cremeyer in the head
Oh.
with a piece of metal and killing her instantly. For more on unusual deaths, check out worst
Oh.
natural disasters in human history or watch this video instead.
Oh. 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 Okay. We didn't actually hear about that one. Oh my gosh, she died. Is the baby? Yeah, I don't know. Not even gonna. Yup. Yo, y'all are wild over in the U.S. of A. Jeez, what y'all think? If y'all heard about any of these, I heard about the guy that shot himself in the head. The dude with the whale bone in his pee-pee. Bro, that's a little, come on, bro. What the hell are you doing? Anyway, quick thank you to YouTubers and Patreons. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.